Welcome back to Dad Ruins Everything. Last time I ruined Ozempic and other GLP-1 weight loss drugs. Today I ruin the thing you probably use more than you admit to others, artificial intelligence. That's right, today I ruin AI, the hottest tech trend around. AI is touted as the future of everything: education, creativity, work, and relationships. But just like astrology or CBD socks, the promises are better than the reality. Let's go. When it comes to AI, I think most people are aware of some of its applications, and not as much how it works or what the limitations are. For example, you've seen images like this, or videos like these. Or you know that kids have used large language models or LLMs like ChatGPT to do their homework. Or you know adults that have used LLMs to do their actual work, usually poorly. That's cool, but we're going to have to start with definitions. Artificial intelligence sounds like it should mean smart robots with glowing eyes who think, learn, and maybe eradicate us all. But the reality is that AI is just a fancy way of describing software that does things humans usually do, like recognizing patterns, making decisions, or writing 500 words about why you deserve a promotion. In fact, AI isn't a single thing. It's a collection of different things lumped together under one label. So before we go any further, let's break them down. And yes, surprise, surprise, I made a list. The different types of AI. 1. Narrow AI, or weak AI. This is where we are right now. Narrow AI is built to do one thing, and only that thing. Some examples are Siri, Alexa, ChatGPT, Google Translate, and YouTube recommendations. As far as sophistication, it's impressive, but still dumb. Great at tasks, terrible at thinking. Number 2 is general AI, or strong AI. General AI can do anything a human can. It's flexible, self-learning, creative. Examples? Well, they don't exist yet. It's still sci-fi. Sophistication? 0. There's nothing to see here yet. 3. Super intelligent AI. This is the kind that outsmarts us all and decides humanity is a bug and not a feature. Examples would be Skynet, Ultron, and HAL 9000. Sophistication, pure fiction. For now. 4. Machine learning. Machine learning teaches computers to find patterns and make predictions based on data. Examples would be spam filters, fraud detection, and Netflix suggestions. Sophistication, good with data, bad with context. 5. Deep learning. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning that uses artificial neural networks to handle complex pattern recognition. Examples would be facial recognition, chatbots, and self-driving car vision. Sophistication? Scary good in very narrow domains, laughably bad outside of them. 6. Reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is an area of AI that learns through trial and error to achieve goals. Examples would be AlphaGo, robot balance training, and elevator optimization. Sophistication? Cool in the lab, chaos in real life. So let's dive a little deeper into the most hyped flavor of narrow AI right now. Generative AI, the part of AI that creates stuff. Text, images, video, audio, code. Basically anything you can copyright until a robot lawyer tells you otherwise. You've probably used it already. ChatGPT writing your emails, Midjourney making kawaii cats in space, DALL-E giving your dreams the weird Photoshop energy of a 90s Magic Eye poster, AI voice clones narrating bedtime stories, your voicemail, or your ransom note.
Follow these directions if you want to see your Squishmallow again.
But here's the thing. Generative AI isn't actually creating, it's remixing. It doesn't have ideas, it doesn't have taste, it doesn't understand meaning. It's just a blender filled with every piece of content that it was ever trained on, and your prompt just hits the puree button. That means it can't tell if it made something great or if it made garbage. It doesn't know if it plagiarized, copied, or accidentally created a mashup of Barbie and Blade Runner. And it might spit out copyrighted material by accident. And no, it doesn't have a lawyer. And speaking of accidents, some AI art generators were caught including watermarks from Getty Images, because the model just copied it. Imagine painting something so original it includes someone else's watermark. Bold stuff for sure. The same goes for music. People are making AI-generated Drake songs that are so close to the real thing that Universal Music had to threaten lawsuits. Though, I guess that's still better than Kendrick getting to them, am I right? Seriously though, this is where it gets weird. You can't copyright AI-generated work in the US. Why? Because the law says that only humans can create intellectual property. That's right, the same government that says that you can copyright Twilight fanfiction draws the line at robot authorship. Who knew? So, does today's AI understand anything? The short answer is no. The long answer? Hell no. These systems don't understand meaning. They don't know truth. They don't even know what they're saying. They predict what should come next in a sentence based on statistical patterns in their training data. It's like that one friend who never really listens but still replies with something that sounds vaguely appropriate until you realize he's just repeating stuff he heard on Joe Rogan. And speaking of things it doesn't understand, let's talk about math. You would think that a giant language model could solve third-grade arithmetic. After all, the stuff is running on computers and computers are great at math. But no, AI is shockingly bad at math. That's because it isn't calculating, it's guessing. It's using patterns to predict what a math answer should look like, which works fine until you ask it to show its work, and it explains that 37 times 129 equals Wednesday. So, yeah, don't trust it with your taxes. Some models have basically bolted a parser and calculator on, so it may not be all bad depending on the model you select, but it still doesn't change the fact that the model doesn't understand what it's looking at. AI doesn't just get things wrong, it makes things up. That's called a hallucination in AI speak, a polite way of saying it lies like a middle schooler who forgot their homework. Want fake legal cases? AI's got you covered. Enter the 2023 Legal Facepalm of the Year, Levidow, and Oberman. Two lawyers used ChatGPT to write a legal brief. ChatGPT gave them 6 court cases, complete with quotes, docket numbers, and arguments. Exactly what you need when presenting an argument to a judge. The problem? Well, none of the cases were real. Made up law. Entirely fictional. And when the judge asked for proof, the lawyers went back to ChatGPT and asked if the cases were real. And ChatGPT said, yes. Spoiler, they got sanctioned. Hard. Including thousands of dollars in fines. The takeaway is that AI is great at sounding smart. It's terrible at actually being smart. Fun fact, I've been working with neural networks since I read an article about them in 1989. I did my first useful thing with AI 5 years later. I didn't do anything commercially with it until 2008 when I learned how to use NVIDIA's CUDA. Why? Well, whichever type of AI you're talking about, it's extremely computationally intensive, and in ways that general-purpose CPUs aren't really designed for. With current GPUs, NPUs, and dedicated coprocessors, we now have viable pathways for high-performance AI processing. But it's expensive. AI might live in the cloud, but its footprint is massive, and these models are power hogs. Training GPT-4 took somewhere between $50 and $100 million. Water usage? Millions of gallons of water just to cool the servers. Electricity? Enough to light a small city. Hardware? Well, how do you think NVIDIA got to be worth over $2.5 trillion? Also, you could ask a robot to write a breakup text in Shakespearean English. Ah, technology. AI isn't cheap. Not for the environment, and not for your wallet if you're subscribing. Now that we're past the free sample stage in order to get people hooked, we're on to the recurring billing that many people will be on for the rest of their lives, or at least until we get the next actual breakthroughs in AI. Large language models like ChatGPT and Grok got us here, but they might not get us much further. Why? I'm glad you asked. I'll present you with yet another list. We're running out of data. The data on the internet is increasing, but it's finite. Once you've scraped Reddit, Wikipedia, and every blog post written by someone named Karen, that's it. And the explosion of AI-generated data doesn't really count as new data. Returns are diminishing. Each new model costs more and improves less. We're figuring out that improvements aren't just a matter of increasing the model size, but there are still limits on model size, parameters, and tokens that we can't just brute force our way out of. They still can't reason. LLMs can mimic thinking, but they can't actually think. They fail on logic, consistency, and anything requiring actual understanding. They forget stuff. Long-term memory? Still a work in progress. Ask it to tell a story with 5 characters, and by paragraph 3, 2 of them have vanished and 1 turned into a horse. More data and more compute doesn't necessarily mean more intelligence. It just means a more expensive parrot with a bigger vocabulary. If you're wondering where the big push is coming from, I would just say that it's where it almost always comes from: capitalism. It's a two-front war. On one front, AI is being used to cut customer service jobs with glitchy chatbots, auto-generate blog spam, scan resumes and reject you before a human even blinks, push surveillance tools that guess who you are, usually badly. It's not about making things better, it's about making things cheaper. The hype is loud because there's money behind it. Venture capital loves AI because it sounds like profit without people. On the other front, AI is being presented as a new product to sell to people. This is done to normalize the use of the tools, as well as normalize access to your data to train future models. It's also used to help pay for the massive expense of research and technology that really isn't meant to primarily benefit individual end users. So the bottom line is that artificial intelligence isn't magic. It's code and data. It doesn't think, it doesn't feel, it doesn't understand, but it's really good at pretending. The tools can be amazing, and in these early stages, AI tools are especially useful in medicine, accessibility, and language translation. But the hype is completely out of control. I use and create AI tools as part of my day job. Because I'm more of a writer, I use DALL-E for some of the art on my videos. For the most part, though, I avoid using LLMs because I can't trust their output. So with all of that, I hope AI is sufficiently ruined for you, or for someone who thinks their chatbot soulmate really gets them. Assuming that you're not a bot, mindlessly training off of my content, you should hit like, subscribe to the channel, and drop your favorite AI-related story in the comments below. Or maybe just ask ChatGPT to write one for you. Also, this is the longest installment to date. Let me know if you like episodes this length or if you prefer the shorter format. Thanks, and have an awesome day.